Starlink Group 687 F-561. SpaceX successfully launched a Falcon 9 Block 5 rocket with the Starlink Group 687 mission from Space Launch Complex 40 SLC-40 at the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, CCSFS, in Florida. This launch flew 29 Starlink V2 mini optimized satellites with a total mass of 16,675 kilograms to 559 kilometers, 347 miles, low Earth orbit, LEO, an inclination of 43 degrees to the equator, with the initial orbit 261 by 269 kilometers or 162 by 167 miles. The flight took place on Tuesday, November 11th, 2025, at 3 hours, 21 minutes, and 30 seconds Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, or on Monday, November 10th, 2025, at 10:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, EST. This was the 87th launch according to the official number, actually the 83rd launch, to the 6th Starlink shell. Falcon booster B-1096 took a northeastern trajectory from Space Launch Complex 40. After stage separation, the booster re-entered Earth's atmosphere and landed safely atop SpaceX's Just Read the Instructions, JRTI, autonomous spaceport drone ship, which was stationed near the Bahamas. The Falcon 9 first stage booster supporting this mission, tail number B-1096, launched for a third time.
Starlink. Starlink is a satellite internet constellation operated by Starlink Services, LLC, an international telecommunications provider that is a wholly owned subsidiary of American aerospace company SpaceX, providing coverage to around 130 countries and territories. It also aims to provide global mobile broadband. Starlink has been instrumental to SpaceX's growth. SpaceX began launching Starlink satellites in 2019. As of May 2025, the constellation consists of over 7,600 mass-produced small satellites in low Earth orbit, LEO, that communicate with designated ground transceivers. Starlink comprises 65% of all active satellites. Nearly 12,000 satellites are planned, with a possible later extension to 34,400. SpaceX announced reaching over 1 million subscribers in December 2022 and 4 million subscribers in September 2024. In the United States, Starlink charged, at launch, a one-time hardware fee of $599 for a user terminal and $120 per month for internet service at a fixed service address. An additional $25 per month allows the user terminal to move beyond a fixed location, Starlink for RVs, but with service speeds deprioritized compared to the fixed users in that area. Fixed users are told to expect typical throughput of 50 to 150 megabits per second and latency from 20 to 40 milliseconds. A higher performance version of the service, Starlink Business, advertises speeds of 150 to 500 megabits per second in exchange for a more costly $2,500 user terminal and a $500 monthly service fee. Another service called Starlink Maritime became available in July 2022, providing internet access on the open ocean, with speeds of 350 megabits per second, requiring purchase of a maritime-grade $10,000 user terminal and a $5,000 monthly service fee. SMS texting via Starlink became publicly available in the US and New Zealand in July 2025, to T-Mobile, AT&T and Verizon customers. The service is powered by Starlink's direct-to-cell satellites. T-Mobile US and SpaceX are partnering to add satellite cellular service capability to Starlink satellites. It will provide dead-zone cell phone coverage across the US using the existing mid-band PCS spectrum owned by T-Mobile. Cell coverage began with text messaging and will expand to include voice and limited data services later. T-Mobile connects to Starlink satellites via existing 4G LTE mobile devices, unlike previous generations of satellite phones, which used specialized radios, modems, and antennas to connect to satellites in higher orbits. Bandwidth will be limited to 2 to 4 megabits per second total, split across a very large cell coverage area, which would be limited to thousands of voice calls or millions of text messages simultaneously in a coverage area. The size of a single coverage cell has not yet been publicly released. Due to delays with Starship development, SpaceX modified the V2 Starlink satellites into a less capable but more compact form factor named V2 Mini, thus enabling these satellites to be launched on Falcon 9. Bus F9-2, typically called V2 Mini, up to 800 kilograms, 1,800 pounds, mass and measuring 4.1 meters, 13 feet, by 2.7 meters, 8 feet 10 inches, with a total array of 120 square meters, 1,300 square feet. The solar arrays are 2 in number. It could offer around 3 to 4 times more usable bandwidth per satellite. They are smaller than Starlink's original ones, and so can be launched on Falcon 9, and have 4 times the capacity to the ground station to increase speed and capacity. This is due to a more efficient array of antennas and the use of radio frequencies in the W-band, E-band waveguide, range. They were deployed in Groups 6 and 7. Bus F9-3, F9-2 with direct-to-cellular capability. The bus length was increased to 7.4 meters, 24 feet. Mass increased to 970 kilograms, 2,140 pounds. Deployed in Group 7. Starlink V2 Mini optimized satellites are built by SpaceX and have a reported launch mass of 575 kilograms. The optimized chassis features upgrades, such as a new backhaul antenna with a SpaceX-designed and built dual-band chip and improved avionics, propulsion, and power systems. Starlink sats are able to track on-orbit debris and capable of autonomous collision avoidance. All satellites will be equipped with anti-reflective coatings. Bus Starship 1, planned, 2,000 kilograms, 4,400 pounds, mass and measuring 6.4 meters, 21 feet, by 2.7 meters, 8 feet 10 inches, with a total array of 257 square meters, 2,770 square feet. Bus Starship 2, planned, Starship 1 with direct-to-cellular capability. The bus length increased to 10.1 meters, 33 feet. The updated Starlink network architecture has 1,584 satellites at 550 kilometers altitude and an inclination of 53 degrees, 1,584 satellites at 540 kilometers and an inclination of 53.2 degrees, 720 satellites at 570 kilometers and an inclination of 70 degrees, and 520 satellites at 560 kilometers and an inclination of 97.6 degrees. SpaceX's Starlink subsidiary operates over 2 main facilities. Satellite manufacturing takes place near Seattle, Washington, while user terminal manufacturing takes place near Austin, Texas. Starlink's satellite development and manufacturing operations campus occupies over 29,200 square meters, 314,000 square feet, in at least 6 buildings located in Redmond, Washington, east of Seattle. The first building opened in early 2015, and the company later expanded into 5 buildings on the Redmond Ridge Corporate Center. Starlink opened a user terminal manufacturing facility just outside of Bastrop, Texas, east of Austin in December 2023. In its first 9 months of operation, the 93,000 square meters, 1 million square foot, facility produced 1 million user terminals and was on track to become the largest factory for printed circuit boards in the United States. Falcon 9 Block 5. Falcon 9 Block 5 is a partially reusable, human-rated, 2-stage-to-orbit, medium-lift launch vehicle designed and manufactured in the United States by SpaceX. It is the 5th major version of the Falcon 9 family and the 3rd version of the Falcon 9 full thrust. It is powered by Merlin 1D engines burning rocket-grade kerosene, RP1, and liquid oxygen, LOX. Space Launch Complex 40, SLC 40. Space Launch Complex 40, SLC-40, sometimes referred to as Slick-40, is one of two launch pads located at the Integrate Transfer Launch Complex, ITL, in Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, CCSFS, Florida. It initially opened as Launch Complex 40 and was used by the United States Air Force alongside the neighboring Space Launch Complex 41, SLC-41, for the Titan III program. Following the Titan family's retirement, the SLC-40 lease was given to SpaceX in 2007 for use by their new rocket, the Falcon 9. Since the early 2010s, the pad has transformed into a high-volume launch site for the Falcon 9, being mainly used to service the company's Starlink megaconstellation. As of September 2025, the pad has hosted over 280 Falcon 9 launches. In near future, SpaceX will add a new Falcon 9 landing zone within the SLC-40 launch complex to replace landing zones 1 and 2. SpaceX. Space Exploration Technologies Corp., commonly referred to as SpaceX, is an American space technology company headquartered at the Starbase development site in Starbase, Texas. Since its founding in 2002, the company has made numerous advances in rocket propulsion, reusable launch vehicles, human spaceflight, and satellite constellation technology. As of 2025, SpaceX is the world's dominant space launch provider, its launch cadence eclipsing all others, including private competitors and national programs like the Chinese space program. SpaceX, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, and the United States Armed Forces work closely together by means of governmental contracts.